Hey everybody, welcome back to the JodoCast. We are in my basement looking at Shatterpoint because if you know me, you know I am a huge fan of Star Wars Shatterpoint, and I wanted to give you a tour of my Shatterpoint collection, which at the moment consists of every single Shatterpoint product that has yet been released. That's going to be out of date soon once Cassian and Krennic come out, but this is all the Shatterpoint stuff currently available, fully assembled. I just wanted to walk you through it, look at the minis that I'm most proud of painting, look at my favorite sculpts, and then we're going to issue a challenge to me and anyone else who wants to join along when we get to the end. So let's start over here. So this piece of wood is not official Shatterpoint that I found at Target for $5. But let's start with the Ewoks. I'm very pleased with how these guys turned out. Tried a bit of non-metallic metal on 3PO, which not realistic looking, but I actually kind of like the kind of cartoony effect of him. You'll have to excuse the lighting, which is not very good in this as yet unfinished basement, future Jodo Studios. So we're going to work with what we got. But one thing I did for the Ewoks is I mix and matched the guys on these units because they're otherwise duplicates. So I wanted to make them not look identical. So we have Princess Kneesaa here, if you remember Kneesaa from the Ewoks cartoon. Then we've got the Death Star Rescue box. These ones are actually pretty fun, and they were very quick to paint. I think I painted these all in about a day or like 2 or 3 days before Adepticon. Then we've got the Han Solo box. Since Chewie's holding an IG droid arm standing on a dead IG droid, I thought Han should also just be in this like droid junkyard, and I gave him the dead astromech from Chopper because I didn't need it for Chopper, which, you know what, let's just go talk about that because these two Rebels are painted to basically be Chopper's little minions. You notice on her hat it's Chopper's face, because over here, probably my favorite mini I've customized is our sweet baby boy Chopper, showing off all of the good he's done for the galaxy. And we've got the Luke Skywalker pack. I don't remember the names of all these. Bar 2D2 was pretty fun. Really liked the Leia sculpt. Had to give her the helmet on the floor because the helmet's cool, but I didn't want her wearing it. It's interesting sometimes trying to figure out what colors to use because her like shoulder armor is actually a little purple. Most of mine, I try and stick to the canon colors, but as you'll see with Grief Karga, I didn't. I took a little inspiration from some odd, like, alt color action figure, but I just thought he's got a brown shirt, brown pants, brown cape. That was a little too boring for me. I wanted to give him a little bit more flair. So I gave him just a little bit more color. IG-11 was a very simple paint job. Mando, one of my favorite sculpts, even though he's just kind of walking. It's a really cool sculpt. Mando is another one where once you look at the costume reference, you realize how much pieces of him are, like, oh, this is a weird shade of blue-gray and stuff. But I'm really happy with how this guy turned out. No, he fell. Mando down. Super happy about these Weequays. I don't play them very often, but I am just really happy with how the paint jobs turned out. Guarm is kind of whatever, but these pirates these were a lot of fun to paint. It's always fun to get bright, funky colors. Hondo was great. I love the monkey. Love the different textures on this model. We'll go back down here to the Rebels. This box found some Lothal looking grass. Kanan was a bit of a weird experience because I realized I glued his head on wrong. He's not supposed to be looking straight on. He's supposed to be looking a bit to the side. And then I lost his gun, so I replaced it with one from Legion, which is actually much larger. So he's got a huge gun on his hip. Zeb, I didn't know what to do with his arm, so I decided that when he gets engaged, in melee that is, not like to another person that he loves, I can just swap his arm out. So I just magnetized that. I did that with Agent Callus as well, but I haven't finished him yet. Got our little kitty. So we've got Hera. We already looked at Chopper. Hera, nothing too fancy here, but Sabine, I had a lot of fun with this one because I got rid of her explosion that she was jumping off and gave her this Gonk droid that has been a little defaced, but it's for the cause. I was surprised at how well Barriss turned out for me. I was not thinking I was going to be able to pull off her cape as well as it did. There's fuzz on all these. Same with Padme and the Handmaidens. I was really worried about being able to pull off the colors on these and the dresses and stuff, but I was really happy with how those turned out. Luminara and Plo Koon, I gave sort of a High Republic feel, gave them both yellow. Plo, of course, had to have the yellow because of Jedi power battles. Luminara, I just thought, it'll be fun to try and go with a more High Republic vibe. Alright, now we just got a bunch more clones and more Jedi. Got these bounty hunters. Really liked the bounty hunters. I gave this little guy the... this was the wall that came with this guy. But because he wasn't going to get Toto had to go with his papa over here. I thought, oh, he could be hiding behind that little wall because he's a little guy. Yeah, I really like... This is such a fun sculpt on this guy. He was fun to paint. Here's our core box, Mandalorians and Ahsoka. Oh, here's Padawan Ahsoka. So many Ahsokas to paint in the world. We've got Maul and Gar and what people refer to as the Badalorians. Here's the Lando box. I finished the wing guards. They were very fast and easy to paint. Almost done with Lobot here. Another very quick paint job, which I guess will be made up for with Lando, who's probably going to be a lot trickier. Here's our more Separatist droids. Django, I had a lot of fun with, putting him on this kind of muddy junkyard, and then when he's wounded, you pop his head off, and it sits magnetized down on the base there, because, you know, he's got a problem keeping his head on his shoulders. Dooku, I was very pleased with how his cape turned out. These guys, I went with my own color scheme instead of a canon color scheme. Same with Dooku, because it's like, brown coat, brown cape, he's going to get a red one. So then his Magna Guard friends are going to have sort of a red scheme as well. Grievous, I think, might be the best sculpt in the whole game. Just very cool, very fun. Pretty quick to paint too. Gave him a purple lightsaber for a little variety. Looks like that lightsaber is bent. Kraken, I modified his arm so he's doing like the end of Breakfast Club pose. These were a lot of fun. I really like the Night Sisters. We've got all of our red blades up here. Here's Thrawn and Callus and those guys. So now we're into all the unpainted stuff. I do have Hunter's mostly painted. not totally ready yet. Bad Batch might be my next up. We'll see. So we've got a lot of Empire. As you can tell, Empire is who I play the least because they've been the least prioritized painting. These guys are going to be real fun to paint, the Mandalorians, and these guys, the Bounty Hunters, are going to be real fun. I'm planning on doing Boba Fett holiday special style again because that's the best Boba Fett. Inferno Squad. This is going to be super fun to paint. I really like both of these sculpts. My favorite version of Ahsoka and this Vader pose is really fun. I've got Vader and Obi-Wan from this dual pack mostly painted. Well, they're all done except their bases. So I just need to paint this. I think I'm going to do it snow. And then we've got a bunch of Jedi over here with this terrain piece, which I decided not to stick this part on because I think it'll be more fun to keep that modular for the table. And then obviously, if you didn't guess already, these things are not official Shatterpoint. This is a sippy cup from Galaxy's Edge, which happens to match my terrain scheme that I picked. And then these are just toys I painted to look like statues. And this one just happens to be the perfect height for a level 2 bridge to act as either just extra support underneath or an endpoint if you just want to have one trailing off. So my challenge to myself, and you if you want to do it along with me, or just so you can keep me accountable, is all that unpainted stuff I'm going to have painted by May 4th, 2026. That's my goal. I'm giving myself a year to get all that gray stuff just as colorful as all this stuff, which could be a lot of work. I guess I don't know. It's going to be tricky. We'll see. It's going to be a matter of, time management because I have to do other things like edit videos and mow the lawn. But yeah, that is my entire Shatterpoint collection, and if you're ever wondering what it would look like if you had every single Shatterpoint thing, that's what it looks like. So let's do one more quick flyby. So just in the comments, let me know if you think I can achieve 100% painted in a year. Let me know if you think you can do it, if you're trying. And then let me know, I really want to know, because I think I'm safe to say General Grievous is my favorite sculpt in the game. What is your favorite sculpt? I think Chopper might be my favorite mini of all of these, based on how he turned out. Chopper and Sabine I'm just very proud of and happy with how those are. But I think just out of the box mini, General Grievous is a winner. So what is your favorite mini? What's your favorite just character to play in general? But like, what's your favorite sculpt? Bosk. The Bosk sculpt is so good too. Yeah, anyway, that's all that. Just wanted to share that with everybody. Hope you're having a nice time painting whatever it is you're painting. If you like painting, be sure to join our Discord. We've got a painting channel on there where we share what we're working on. Everybody, encourages each other, gives feedback, that sort of thing. It's a good time. All right, subscribe or something.